this is a player who gets a big reception no matter where in the world she is playing. Long-time world number one Sun Yingsha, utterly imperious at the top of the standings, but she's taking on a player who has beaten her in recent history. Chen Yi, the rising star for Team China, currently ranked world number 10, and is certainly making waves in the world standings. Well, this is a best of 7 now, and this for a place in tomorrow's final. Just last month, the younger player pulled off a real upset, big win over Sun Yingsha in the round of 16 at the US Smash in Las Vegas. She currently leads their head-to-head, and this is the...
Indeed she is. I've been watching for quite some time, and many have told me, look out for this one. She's adaptable, she's fast, she's focused, she's gone through a lot of very tricky challenges and overcome these hurdles along the way.
I have white and red. Red, white for you. White, right. Service over to C. Service.
A player who's got 75% of the fan vote here against somebody who she's 0-1 in WTT history. And that was quite a recent encounter. Before that, they hadn't played in a long, long time. It was 10 years ago. Think about that.
First
Chen was 10
CHEN
years old. Not in the world, years old. Playing a 14-year-old SHATOU. That was the only time she's lost to SHATOU internationally. And she starts with the serves in this best of 7 semi-final.
What can we expect from Chen Yi? Because she's not a flashy player, is she? She doesn't look as though she does anything too outrageous or too special.
She's efficient, she's adaptable, she's very comfortable near and far from the table, but she's a quick learner. Two fortunate points here for SHATOU to start, a net in both of them, as she raises her hand to acknowledge that fortune. But for a tall player, she's very physical. You can see her getting the legs into the shots there. Very wristy shots. Not short strokes. Well, relatively, but still a lot of wrist.
Did you see?
Nice, fair play all around.
Too loud.
Umpire just wants to make sure that both players are in agreement on this, so he doesn't need to step in any either way.
We don't often see rallies at that length, do we, in the women's game?
I think here, impressive to me is that Chen Yi plays a slow spinny ball here. Little side swipe just to make sure she can stay in the point. Look how fast she moves behind the table. Again, for someone at her height, one of the 4 tallest women in the game, it's impressive how quick she is.
Love 4.
Well, 4 answered points. Sun Yingsha quickly establishing a lead here. Going for her 4th Grand Smash title overall, whereas Chen Yi is appearing in just her 3rd Smash. Made her debut at the China Smash event last autumn. She's coming under constant pressure, isn't she, from Sun Yingsha?
And she will. SHATOU is going to stay close to the table. She's going to control. She's got a lot of power. I think one thing Chen Yi said about Sun Yingsha at lunch is she's got so much muscle. She's like, we share a changing room. I can tell you, this girl's got a lot of muscle. Wow, this pattern. I was impressed that SHATOU even got the second ball to the backhand because it was such a surprising break of pattern. Step around, one to the backhand, and then quick the other way. Closer to the table, Chen Yi is going to be much more effective. It's easier said than done to get there. It's her first point in the 6 so far, coming out of this first towel break.
How does she make sure she can stay close to the table and not get pushed back?
Well, being surprising / specific on the receive. It really depends what comes in, but quick decisions are going to be important. She's trying here, you can tell. Getting in over the table with the backhand and then trying not to back up too much. SHATOU with a big answer to a quite quality receive. ideas are clever. Again, playing a little bit more shallow on the table. The block one a little soft, less rotation. That was the shallow one, and then she tries to go the other way, but SHATOU's having none of it. Don't come into my house. Don't push me around. Take your shoes off at the door.
1-8.
Firmly in control. And do you think she's got that US smash defeat in her head, Sun Ying-sha?
I think she probably did for every minute of homework that she put in preparing for now. I think now she's just present and playing.
She's rock solid, isn't she? Barely moving in that point, Sun Ying-sha.
Yeah, she's got control here, handcuffs on the opponent, but third point or so far that's gone SHATOU's way with a bit of fortune.
Chen Yi staying stable and steady and consistent in the backhand.
Yeah, a bit of extra pace on this last ball. It was responsive, but here, turns it up, goes wide. Just that little extra flick of the wrist to add some pace.
You can see what the plan was there, couldn't you? From Chen Yi.
Doesn't miss by much here. She tries to go inside out deep to the backhand. 8 game points now for the world number 1 out of the second towel break.
Sun Ying-sha gets it finished off for the first time of asking. Wraps up game number 1 by 11 points to 2. Barely looks like she had to break a sweat in that one. No surprise though to see Chen Yi in the semi-final, given that she made it all the way to the final of the US Smash. Which had a brilliant run in Las Vegas.
Second game, Sun to serve, level. Love 1.
Well, better start than last time around. The first 5 points, at least for Chen Yi, the first 5 points of last game to SHATOU. Last time they played in Vegas, tables were a bit different. A lot of people were adjusting, so there were a lot of upsets here and there that we'll see. Again, she's been adaptable. She's been strong. Oh, wingspan tested, corner to corner. Again, one of the 4 tallest women in the game, so there's no shortage of wingspan, but that's the speed of SHATOU to get it past.
Rise at speed again from both of them, and Chen Yi gets the better of her in that rally. That's a really confidence-boosting point, isn't it?
She worked hard to make sure that SHATOU kept her gloves up there, covering the middle time and time again, and when that big forehand came out to play, sometimes when you have an advantage, you just have to make sure you keep it, even if you don't win the point on the next shot, and that's what Chen Yi did. She just kept drilling away, making sure that she could keep the advantage throughout the point.
2-all.
Swiped at that one a little bit.
I just missed the contact. I think the shot was right. Good setup. Tighter score from game number 1. Last time they played, it was a 3-1 victory. YINGSHA has imagined all sorts of different possibilities for how to make sure Vegas does not repeat itself in terms of this head-to-head.
3-7.
SHATOU watches that all the way as it bounces just to make sure she had the perfect read of the spin. Take advantage of any moment. Let no scraps go to waste here. Even a let serve, good time to learn.
But once again, she's just turning the screw now, Sun Ying-sha. Started off a close second game. Sun Ying-sha's just found another level, hasn't she?
Yeah, I think everyone's studying her. She's been on another level. Well, she's found it since 3-3. She's won, what, the last 5 points in a row. You saw Cho Yi-ke, her personal coach, Kwai Man, up-and-comer for China.
3-8.
It's crazy to say considering she's, what, 4 in the world.
9-3.
A shake of the head from Chen Yi. She sends that one long. She must feel incredibly frustrated out there at the minute.
She's very smart, she's very calm, she's very focused. She just understands that in this moment it's going to require an incredibly high percentage of some low percentage shots to beat SHATOU. That's usually the case.
Well, she likes that angle, doesn't she? Going for the forehand.
And this forehand flick, one of the toughest shots in the game, gets up on her feet to play it inside the table as Wang Yidi and Ma Lin watch on. Discuss with He Zhuojia there.
She is just too good. Wraps up the second, 11 points to 3. Another one-sided game. It looked as though Chen Yi would start to establish herself in game number 2, but the class of Sun Yingsha really prevailing. Well, she's got 4 titles to her name across all competitions this year, and in this kind of mood, she looks determined to add a 5th. This is game number 3 in the best of 7. Chen Yi is not playing badly at all, is she?
Definitely not. SHATOU's been playing just unthinkably good. It's so tricky. We've seen how challenging Chen Yi can be. Again, she's beaten the world number 1 and world number 2 in back-to-back events. Now, I like what she does here. Chen Yi has recognized the pattern, so she moves a little bit more central on the table. Right after this backhand starts to shift. So SHATOU, who's been tempted to go to that wide forehand a lot, as we see Ju Sibing and Tong Tong on the left there. Tong Tong, who beat SHATOU in the final in Yokohama. Ju Sibing, who warmed up everybody for Sabina Winter.
Sun Yingsha goes long, and it's a great start for Chen Yi. How can she build on this bit of momentum that she's got now?
I like to give credit where it's due, and I think whatever that is, she's the best person to find it. Remember, no coaches out there. I think she'll continue to stay close. She'll continue to change patterns, cover the wide forehand, and play angles where she can.
4-love.
Honestly, from the beginning of this point, I thought she was in trouble, Chen Yi, just a step behind the table. Now, physicality does determine, in some senses, how your distance from the table, how far back you can stand. It's to your advantage to stay close, but it's all relative.
Going for the big forehand and finds the net instead, and Sun Yingsha now has her first point on the board.
Good combination there, heavy spin to the backhand and then one to the middle. The middle will be the bigger target zone for any player who's taller and has a bigger crossover between their forehand and backhand. Good answer to this heavy spin shot. SHATOU closes the racket. Think about it, she ended last game winning 8 points in a row from 3-3. She feeds off momentum, and here, side spin with the top spin. You can see the hook on that ball as it dives out of the way.
Then 2-4.
Good setup, touch game. Chen Yi with a perfect receive right off the bounce to get into the rally quickly, create an opening here. Gets a push from SHATOU for a 3rd ball, and then it's the 4th ball attack. Nice use of side spin with the top spin, a little change of pace, and the wrist very active here as Chen Yi secures another point. Look at that, little bit of Chiquita there, a Chiquitita. In the land of ABBA.
Well, she's more than doubled her points tally from the last game, Chen Yi. This is a lot more positive.
Yeah, very encouraging start here. The level of focus that it takes. Ooh. Well, understandable. You could see who they're cheering for.
Of course, in the best of 7, you can afford a slower start.
Yeah, that's true.
Perhaps not ideal.
Yeah, it's always tough when you're playing someone who's so confident, so strong. I guess the idea is having some sort of dent in the opponent's confidence to start. Oh, that backhand. What was the speed? Do you realize how fast you were going? Pull over. In a rally like this, SHATOU drives it. It's coverage, and she moves in. Oh, man. Right to the line. That's a shot right there that shows incredible capability. Think of the first two games. 11-2, 11-3 for SHATOU.
Well, we could be on the verge of a repeat, but, you know, the reverse.
To make things quite interesting here. Good placement then. Right into the crossover. Out of the second towel break, CHEN has a lot of reasons to be confident. SHATOU just keeping it cool.
Well, it's game points for CHEN. A remarkable recovery from 2 games down now to put herself in the position of getting a game on the board. YINGSHA goes long, and it's 11 points to 3 for CHEN. She reverses the scoreline from the second game, beating Sunyi. Of a warning for the players who were clearly in no rush to get back up to the table ahead of game number 4. Now that CHEN has taken game number 3, this is a much more open contest.
I don't want to call you 2 times. I like it.
It's a tight ship inside the Renaissance Arena.
As it should be. Some ticket holders here excited to see these two play. And they sure have so far, but a good start here from SHATOU after quite a dominant showing the other way against her in game 3.
Well, surprising, wasn't it? Yeah, she's not often on the receiving end of scorelines like that.
Yeah. It is a rare occasion. She doesn't take losing lightly. It's a good opportunity for learning. Brian Afanador said there's winning and there's learning. And at this level, even when you're winning, you're still learning. You have to. Again, it's like the scraps. Just nothing goes to waste. Neolan Fei cannot let it be taken in vain. Any opportunity. When you're world number 1, it's not maintaining your level. You're constantly improving because everybody else is too, and you have to do it faster. In terms of the IOUs, it's just another one. It feels like there are probably about 3 or 4 in CHEN pocket. We'll see if karma comes around later in the match.
There's the karma.
I mean, she missed the shot. I don't know if I would consider that an IOU cashed in just yet. Jeez, man. Yeah, I'll count it as IOUs being cashed in and TTK, table tennis karma, when CHEN gets nets and edges that win her points. This one, a faint edge, just the nick at the back end. Almost a single fish on the double fish. Only half the ball there. That's all it has to do, touch the playing surface, even if ever so slightly.
Good attacking play from CHEN.
Took a bit of a chance here to step around. Games 1 and 2 many times. This step around cost her because SHATOU goes right back to the quick forehand, but the pressure a little bit in at the elbow to make SHATOU shorten up her stroke.
5.
Good Anderson on the pendulum. Again, deception in the contact. Let's take a look here. Looks like mostly side spin, but more underspin than there appeared, and it comes back net and out.
Oh, there was way too much behind that forehand.
Look one more time at the idea here. A push from baseline. Going long, looking to counter. That's a lot of spin coming in. SHATOU protects herself well with heavy topspin. Just a reminder of how beautiful it looks inside the Renaissance Arena.
Chen Yi strikes me as a player who doesn't mind having to come from behind. He doesn't mind getting involved in long matches that go the distance.
I think mentally she's so strong. I think the challenge is something she thrives on. She's constantly engineering responses to players who are very tricky. Subtlety on the service change allows the opening attack a bit of a bait because it's right near that corner of the table. That's what half long is all about. Cause some discomfort, some hesitation.
Then 5, 6.
Nothing superstitious there, just drying the hand between towel breaks, between points.
Well, tied up at 6-all. Chen Yi coming from behind to level here in game number 4.
This is amazing to me. SHATOU looks a little bit nervous when that's what's called for.
Great success, hasn't she? Going for that wide forehand. There's another one.
Yeah, in the first 2 games especially, here it took a long time to get there, but it's side and topspin to send Chen Yi on the run. Again, the physicality. A player who's quite tall. Might not expect to see her leaping to the wide forehand and countering behind. Goes for broke, throws everything in, and SHATOU, the wall in this, the Great Wall of China. You can see her from space. Look at the cover there. Racket straight up near the clavicles and then right back the other way to the open table. The heat from below the table. This is a gutsy shot. Chen Yi took a chance. That's what that face says.
Well, it looked as though Chen Yi might be starting to get a bit of a look in game number 4, but YINGSHA has just managed to establish some distance again.
What, 6-6 and then 3 in a row? Top edge of the racket after a surprising long push. SHATOU testing the racket speed and how long it takes the opponent to get ready. Wow. Again, the way she touched that ball right off the bounce was quite surprising, and it sets up 4 game points for a 3-1 lead, the world number 1, YINGSHA.
Brilliant angle. Saves game point in stunning fashion there.
Adding a bit of spin, side and top there to keep it out of reach down the line, Chen Yi.
You just see that moment of hesitation from YINGSHA. Well, she went for this same angle again, but couldn't quite make it. 11 points to 7. YINGSHA in control and a game away from a place in tomorrow's final. Chen Yi needs to come up with some answers. She's looking a lot better the more this match wears on. But it's now or never in game number 5 for the world number 10. these semis that'll take place after this one. So China guaranteed a winner in the women's singles. Will it be Sun Yingsha who's through to the final? She's got one game to make it so.
One, love.
What proved to be the difference in the last game, in game number 4? Because it was pretty evenly matched, wasn't it, until about point 6 or 7?
It's a good question. Yeah, around 6-6, it felt like SHATOU was quite comfortable shortening up her strokes, playing efficiently from the middle, lasting a little longer in the rallies, adding side spin when going wide.
1, 2.
It's easy to tense up when pressure builds. I think this is tunnel vision. Just being able to quiet the noise that's around you. There's a lot of sound, but it's only noise if it's not helpful sound.
Let. 1, 2.
Just for the record on that let, that was the perfectly half-long receive.
Let. 1, 2.
Keeping it tight.
You said earlier you sensed that she might be a little bit nervous, Sun Yingsha.
It looked that way in the last game until about 6-6. I think she definitely changed the mood a bit.
1. Let's call it 1, 2.
So what, 3 in a row now? The let turkey, turkey lettuce.
Gets that one in and gets the point.
A lot of good fan art here. Even had some proper international art in the stadium.
Catch on the edge of the table. A shake of the head as well. Frustration for Chen Yi. Was it that sort of change of direction that upset the rhythm there?
It's a good question. Quick parallel. It seemed to come down off the back edge after the shot, so it clearly didn't get the traction she wanted on the forehand. Full pressure on the step around, full commitment. Chun Yi had an opening there. Wouldn't have been easy, but we've seen her play shots that are well outside of the category of easy so far in this match. Extra commitment to make sure when you do step around and you leave the table open, you put a lot of pressure on, and it's a timeout on Chen Yi's side. Something to that effect. Just thought focus is better. Sleep, eat, practice, enjoy, but stay focused.
It's fascinating. So she hasn't stepped outside in a week.
I don't know the details, but I think she's definitely kept it to a minimum.
Wow.
4, 2.
That takes the first point after the timeout, does so with an apology. Real intent behind that forehand, wasn't there?
Yeah, this is going to be up to Chun Yi. That's why she shakes her head. She leaves a lukewarm ball off the table with enough room for SHATOU to fully commit to the forehand.
Yes, already.
That was a warning for the crowd.
10, 2, 6.
There's a bit of equality in the response. Strong backhand. Remember, this is a must-win for the world number 10, Chun Yi. After dominating game 3, in response to being dominated the first 2 games, is in a tough position here, but making her come back. Wow, survives. Honestly, I've seen a fair amount of luck. Simongozi, Kanakja, it was pretty balanced, just crucial moments. But here, it's pretty imbalanced. The amount of fortunate shots that have come down for SHATOU so far. And to recover this, Chun Yi handles, goes soft after that, but still keeps it in play, plays for position.
Oh, wow.
Perfect setup, long push to the wide forehand, taking a chance. You'd have to imagine this is one of the many things that was on the drawing board when she was sitting on the bench. The angle and the side spin on that. And then the short side of the table to send it behind SHATOU.
Well, from 2-6 down, she's now closed the gap to the single point. I was going to ask at 6-2 whether that was the moment that Sun Yingsha pulled away, but clearly not.
Well-placed serve to get a passive receive from deep on the table. That's what half long is all about. Causing decision. Oh, beautiful response in the speed rally. I was just thinking to myself, when you're playing someone who's so dominant in table tennis and also has a portable home court advantage, it's got to be tough. We're playing for the same team. But it is singles here.
Oh, she gets that point finished off with rapid speed. Sun Yingsha will establish that slight lead.
Yeah, very confident opening backhand here. Wow. Not a lot of room on that. It'll just add that much more focus and intention to the serve next time Chun Yi serves. Angle on this, wide, using the cross court, the full length of the table. SHATOU turning it up a notch, and she's 2 points away from moving on to the final.
These are big points under pressure now for the world number 10.
On the move, extended to the wide forehand. It's not the first time we've seen her flying through the court with some athletic counters. The timing, too. SHATOU took that so early. Heavy spin, slow and spinny. SHATOU has not called her timeout yet.
Do we sense it's coming?
After that, no. Just something to consider in a moment like this. Surprise, surprise, one more to the backhand corner. SHATOU goes deep and is 1 point away from going deeper in the draw to play a final. She's taken more titles than anybody in the WTT era.
Hips the top of the net, and that's the first match point that's gone for Sun Yingsha. Chun Yi still alive in this one.
The match point saved, 1 more to go. SHATOU with a big serve to come here in game 5.
Well, Chun Yi goes along, and Sun Yingsha has done it in 5, defeating Chun Yi, the world number 10, 4 games to 1, turning the tables, avenging that defeat at the US Smash just last month. And she is through to tomorrow's final in the women's singles. Congratulations indeed to Sun Yingsha. Look